Hey guys, Rachel Capel here with Keller Williams, East Bay. I have been hearing lots of people talking about leaving California and selling their properties and getting out of Dodge. So today we're talking Tennessee, baby. We're going to talk all about Tennessee, what it's like living there. I've got my buddy Rachel Hadidsaz. She's here with me today to tell you all about Tennessee, so stay tuned. All right, you know the drill. Subscribe, smash the like button. If you have cues, answer up above here. Now let's get to this video with my good friend Rachel. Let's go. Hello everyone, this is Rachel here with Keller Williams, East Bay. I've got a special guest, my good friend Rachel, easy name to remember, Rachel Hadidsaz, like pizzas. That's in right. Tennessee, and we're gonna be talking Tennessee today because everyone, well, I shouldn't say everyone, lots of people are out of California and they are going on to other states, and one of those states is Tennessee. So we're going to talk all things Tennessee today. We're going to learn about it, and if you're moving or wanting to relocate to Tennessee from Cali and say goodbye, Rachel's going to help us today. So welcome, Rachel.
Hi, Rachel. Thanks for having me today. So I'm with eXp Realty. I'm in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. It's the exact center of the state of Tennessee. We're within the Nashville metropolitan area just because we're in the next county over. So it's about a 30-minute drive from Nashville. A lot of people love to live in this area just because it is so close to the city, but you're not right in the city.
Right. Like where I live in California. I've been to Nashville and it's changed a ton since I was there last. I hear it's a really awesome place for like country music and just live music, right? In general.
Oh my gosh, Nashville is great for so much. You said it, it's great for live music. Nashville is our nation's music city, but there's so much more than just country music. You've got all kinds of music. Go on Broadway, go to one of our honky tonks. You can go to Demon Brunn Street and just have a good beer, have a good sip of whiskey, Tennessee whiskey.
Yeah. It's so Tennessee whiskey. Oh yeah, my boyfriend loves that stuff. So yeah, it's funny because when I went there, it was like so fun for life. I feel like that's kind of another reason people are moving there. Like, what do you think the draw is? Is it like a lot of young people? Like, because I feel like, I mean, now in COVID land, we can't really do live music, but I feel like that's a huge draw. The food, I mean, the nightlife there. It's a pretty awesome city, right?
Yes, there's so much to do, and there's so many different reasons why people are moving here. I actually just did a video on my channel for this past week on reasons why people are moving to Tennessee. And awesome. I mean, some of it is the cost of living could be more reasonable than where you're coming from. It just depends on where you're moving from. Yeah. A lot of people move here because we have so many job opportunities. Tennessee is a very business-friendly state. A lot of people like the weather. We have 4 distinct seasons here in Tennessee. And some people just want a little bit of a slower pace of life, especially coming from California where things tend to move a little bit quicker. Coming to Tennessee, everything is going to move a little bit slower, even in the cities, if you're comparing Nashville to, say, LA or something like that. I think the number one reason why people move to Tennessee, though, is because of the Southern charm and the friendly people. People just, they really gravitate to that, and they're tired of people that pass them on the sidewalk and don't make eye contact. You know, I will just keep waving if you don't make eye contact with me. I don't care. I'm going to let you know that I'm acknowledging. I see you.
I know, I'm the same way. It makes me sad about that in California because we do. I think there's so many people here and there's so many different challenges. I know a lot of people are leaving for a lot of those reasons, and especially being in lockdown, I feel like every other state the kids have been able to go back to school, you know, and it's pretty, the weather there is nice. I know you guys are experiencing something kind of out of the ordinary right now, so that's normally not what happens, but I think that it's a beautiful area and it's clean, people are nice, and slower pace of life it's nice. It's, as I do these interviews, I kind of think like, but I do love California. I'm from here, so I can't move, but it's a draw for sure. So why don't we talk about the different areas? Because I know Nashville is kind of like, you know, the hub there, and I love Graceland. We don't have to talk about Graceland, Elvis's hometown.
It's actually, did you know that Graceland is the second most visited house in America after the White House? Yeah, I mean, Graceland is a huge draw for Tennessee. If you've not been there, go check out Elvis's roots. Memphis is a great city.
Mm-hmm.
I personally wouldn't want to live there. It's a little too urban for me. I love my Murfreesboro. We're just a big spread out town. But Memphis is very culturally important. It's where where Martin Luther King Jr. was assassinated. So there's a civil rights museum there. You've got the House of the Blues on Beale Street. I know you touched on food. I'm going to go ahead and tell you, you got to try the Memphis Barbecue.
So good. I know. It's like, it was so amazing when I went there. It was years and years ago. I was like, probably completely different now. But yeah, it is like a lot of our culture is over there. And it's beautiful. And I just remember all the woods and the trees. It's so gorgeous. We went in, I think, the springtime, I think it was. But yeah, we really enjoyed it. So what about, like, tell me about the little areas like you were talking about. Your town, like, is it more, it's accessible to the major hubs where you can work, right? That's like, I'm assuming, like the suburbs.
Yes, so Murfreesboro, they kind of consider it maybe a suburb, not necessarily a suburb of Nashville. We are a distinct city.
Okay.
We have about 160,000 people. So we're a larger city within Tennessee, but people love it because it's close enough to still drive to Nashville and enjoy everything that Nashville has to offer. You know, go to a hockey game. We've got the Nashville Predators. Go to a football game. We got the Tennessee Titans. We even have a soccer team now, the Nashville Soccer Club. So that's, you know, a lot of the huge draw here towards Middle Tennessee is just to be where there's more things to do.
Yeah, activity.
But there's also places to go all over the state. Tennessee has got some great state parks. We've got over 50 state parks all throughout the state. You can enjoy all of our mountains, our rolling hills, our beautiful trees and flowers. We've got lakes, creeks, and waterfalls sprinkled all throughout the state that you can enjoy.
Oh my gosh, so nice. I know. California, I just can't wait till spring comes. So what about, like, how much would a house cost out there for these people that are considering? Because I mean, obviously we know why we're going to go there. So what does the cost of living in kind of the medium price home look like out there?
So here in Murfreesboro, the median priced home is just over $300,000, which is a huge draw for people coming from California. If you're looking for something in Nashville, it is going to be higher. You're going to be looking at over $400,000 for the median home value. Some other areas are similarly priced a little bit higher above our median range that are popular for people. Mount Juliet, Brentwood, and Franklin. These are a little bit higher priced for Tennessee, but still compared to California, you have a lot more buying power. Right. Now, there are still places in Tennessee where you can find a home for closer to $200,000 or less. However, you are going to be further out from the city. You're going to have to drive a little bit further to get into Nashville. You may be in a small town or in a medium-sized city.
Gotcha. Now, and that house is a pretty big house, right? We're talking a couple thousand square feet.
Oh, at least. Yeah. For a $300,000 home here in Murfreesboro, you're looking at a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house, about 2,000 square feet. That's pretty much the average that most people want.
Yeah. I live in Pleasant Hill, which is just outside of San Francisco. And I was living in a 1,092 square foot house for a long time. Then I completely remodeled it to 2,300 square feet. And it's awesome, you know, but I don't have to pay property taxes on like that. But if you're looking at that in California, it's like in a good area, you're looking at $1 million plus for sure. And now with COVID craziness and what's going on in the market, it's going for like 1.2. So
that's bananas. That's bananas to me.
It is. It literally, like, every day I'm like, I don't even know what to say anymore. But our cost of, what we get paid in salary, you know, it's different. But do you know how long the flight is there? I know driving, I was going to ask you about that, but that's way too far. So flight is like a couple hours, like 4 or 5 hours?
I think it's probably going to be close to 5 hours. Not recently, right before the pandemic hit, I went on a flight to Vegas. It was a straight shot from Nashville to Vegas, and it was about 4 hours. So okay. I'm thinking it'd probably be maybe 4.5 to 5 hours to go all the way to California. I do know some clients of mine that just recently drove from California to Tennessee and then back because they're moving here, but they moved their parents here first.
Gotcha.
And it did take them they took about 3 days. It's a little bit over a 30-hour drive. So, you want to break that up.
Yeah.
Days.
I think when we did it, I drove to New York, and I remember we took kind of the southern route, and it's a beautiful drive. I mean, there are certain pockets that aren't boring, but going into like Nashville and Tennessee and all that, it's really pretty. So okay, let's go over. We talked about the cost of living. Let's talk about the schools. Schools are pretty good. I'm assuming, or like, tell me a little bit about that. Like, depending on the area, I'm sure.
Schools are definitely dependent on the area. Now, nationally, we do rank a little bit lower in terms of our test scores. Okay. However, I had a great Tennessee education. We have great colleges here. Yep. Here in Rutherford County, where I live, we have some of the highest rated schools in the state, at least. Central Magnet High School is located here in Rutherford County. That's the 5th ranked high school in the U.S. Okay. We do have those magnet schools that kids can test into. Yep. Because they have the STEM curriculum, the science, tech, engineering, math. And we do have some great schools in Nashville as well, Williamson County, Wilson County, some of the neighboring counties. But at the end of the day, education is what you make of it, right? So I think even though nationally we might be ranked a little bit lower, you can still get a great education here in Tennessee.
Yeah, and I think that's another reason why I always tell clients, it's really important to have somebody there to talk to, because like, you don't know what you don't know, and you, Rachel, being the expert in that area, you can kind of break down all the different facets to that. So that's why I like to ask that question, because it really does take an expert to know the area and where what your needs are. So thank you for that. Now on to, let's see, we've kind of talked about a lot already. So how is the traffic? Is it pretty bad? Because I know, coming from my sunny state of California, which got a little break during COVID, but it seems to click right back into the traffic mode as we open up now. How is the traffic over where you guys are?
Well, again, it kind of depends on, are you in a larger city or are you in a small town? Now here in Murfreesboro, the average commute time is probably about 20 to 25 minutes. And that's pretty similar, the same in Nashville. If you're commuting within Nashville, it's about 20 or 25 minutes. Okay. Of course, going from Murfreesboro to Nashville, if that's going to be your work commute, like it is for so many, you're looking at about 40 minutes, up to over an hour if you're in like the peak rush hour times. If there's an accident, you could be stuck for a while. But, traffic, to me, we have a lot of traffic, but when I am with my clients from California and they see our traffic, they're like, well, your traffic is moving. This is not traffic. So our traffic generally doesn't go at like a standstill. Traffic to me is, the person in front of me isn't going fast enough. So that's our traffic.
Yeah, it can be so brutal here. And again, this is why we need the expert, right? Down on the ground there, because like, we just don't know what we don't know. And yes, California, I'm lucky I don't have to go, too much into the city, but some people will commute from like Brentwood area, where I live. It's like literally like a 2-hour commute. It's crazy, but houses are more affordable out there. So, well, I mean, I think we kind of covered a lot of it, and we can talk about the weather, but I'm sure you've got the 4 seasons there, right? So it's beautiful.
Oh, definitely. I have a whole video on my channel just dedicated to Tennessee weather. I have a separate video if you want to hear about our, our natural disasters, our Tennessee tornadoes, and all the fun stuff that comes with that. You want to set your expectations if you're moving to Tennessee. Yeah. I'm not here to scare you. Certainly, there's plenty of people still living here and loving it. So, just head on over to my channel and check out some videos.
Awesome. And on that note, I'm going to have all your details down below, and I'll highlight those 2 videos that we talked about, because I think that'll be really good to answer all those fears, because I should do that for California. We just have a lot of sunshine and fires out here though.
But I know it's not everywhere. I think in other parts of the state, we can get that perception that the entire state of California is burning, but I know it's just in certain areas.
Just in my area. It's so crazy too, because like, I think about it and I'm like, these people are buying these beautiful homes with the beautiful backyard and the pool, and it's like the hottest day of the year that you want to be in your pool playing and having a pool party and ton of fun. It's like smoke and you cannot go outside. It's crazy, and it's been happening every summer, so I don't know what's going to happen, but global warming, we just have to figure it out. But anyways, thank you so much, Rachel. It was so awesome talking with you. So easy to remember your name.
And yes, great name. And thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, thank you. I know. So if you're thinking about leaving California and saying goodbye, I can personally introduce you to my buddy here, Rachel, and she's got a ton of great stuff on her YouTube channel, which will all be down below. So you can learn all about Tennessee and why it's so great. And I think it's definitely something that's truly important to have someone there to ask the questions, the hard questions. So I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video. Thanks so much for stopping by. And thank you, Rachel. You're amazing. And until the next video, see you later. Bye.
Bye.
All right, so if you didn't know, now you know. Tennessee is where it's at, people. If you have more questions, details above here, reach out. Our team loves answering them. Subscribe, hit the like button, and make sure if you want to know more places to go outside of California, we got more videos up here to tell you more. All Rachel's information is going to be down below, so definitely check her out. Look forward to seeing you in the next video, guys. Thanks so much. Bye.